Welcome back, everyone. Here to show us how to make festive fall soaps with our favorite scents and spices is Maria.
The smell of fall, we're just continuing it everywhere. But
Yes.
This is really the time of year where you're entertaining so much. It's also the beginning of cold and flu season, so you want to encourage everybody to wash their hands.
Right.
Be clean.
And as you know, with children, when you have kids over, you always are telling people to wash their hands when they come to your house, especially if you have babies. And this is a great way to not maybe feel like you know what I mean?
Right, they're beautiful and effective. They're beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like use some of these great soaps. Check them out.
Encourage people to wash their hands.
Because people can take that, you know, a little bit of. Now, what I like is you've got a few different options here.
I do. So you can see, starting over there with the cinnamon, we're adding, like we said, the smell of fall into our house everywhere. So the cinnamon is there, and there's some pumpkin pie spice in with the cinnamon. And it's just a luxurious goat's milk
Look at that. I think
base
that's so
of that.
rustic and beautiful.
And right above that, oh, thank you. And right above that, we have our floating leaves, if you will.
Those are cute.
And those are just bright and colorful, perfect for fall. And our stacked one at the very front is just, I think, another very chic kind of look too. Like I feel like Orly would have that one in her house.
like
you know,
that.
very chic.
That one looks like that's the one that when I saw, I thought I was going to take a bite out of it, and then I realized it was soap.
Right. That's again, we're not washing our mouths out with soap.
Bad idea, everybody.
No, but you're going to show us how to make a few of these, and we're starting with the goat's milk cinnamon stick one. So how do we make this?
So this is, like you said, a goat's milk. When you're searching for your soaps, generally you can get them online. You can get them at the craft supply store.
Okay.
There's a clear one that's like glycerin and a white one, and there's some different bases of them. But the goat's milk one, I really like. I feel like it's really soft. It's nice on your hands.
It seems like it would be
And
goat's milk.
yeah.
I mean,
Yes, and it'll take colors really well, but it's also really pretty.
Yeah.
So what I have here, it comes in a big base, which I'm going to we'll show you when we talk about these other ones, and you just melt it down.
Okay.
Like we have here. So Cameron, would you mind? This is just pumpkin pie spice.
Yes.
If you want to just do a pinch
Well, I don't
in
mind
here.
if I do.
And
Just a little pinch?
Just a little
Is that too
pinch.
much?
No, that's perfect.
Okay,
And you just mix it in like this. So this is where now we would add in our fall
I love it
smells.
so much.
Deb, if you want to add just a couple drops of this orange.
Okay.
So the orange I really like because I think of the holidays. You know those? Oh, that's perfect. The orange is you put the clove in the orange.
Yes.
And you set them out.
Yes,
because it
that's
smells so good.
right.
So I have some
Yep.
clove oil as well that I just do a couple drops. So you have there's different ratios you can.
Clove is really strong.
Research and see what works together. Yeah, clove you don't need as much.
But the orange is nice because it's not so overpowering.
The orange you can add significantly a lot more
Oh, yeah,
of.
that's potent.
And the clove not so much. It's even when you add clove to your baking,
Exactly.
you don't add
It's
as
not
much.
too much, yeah.
Exactly. So that's what we have here. All you do after this, these are silicone molds. And you don't have to prep them in any way besides making sure they're clean and dry.
Amazing. Right.
And all you do is pour this in. And you can make them as full or as shallow as you like. If you want a big, bar of soap, you can fill them up. And you have that there.
I mean, they do look edible because
they
of all the little
They
specks
do,
in
they
them.
do. Now, because you want it to sort of, in a sense, encapsulate the cinnamon, you want to get it deep enough so that it's not sticking out too much, probably.
Yes,
right?
so if you have some that are a little bit thicker or deeper, more full, you do this, and I kind of like hiding that in there, but I love the ones that are a little bit, sort of doing a mix of both. So you can see there.
cool.
So Deb, if you want to add the other ones in there,
this
that's all you need to do. And as you use the soap, it whittles away, and you're left with the cinnamon stick, but that's still adding that smell into your hands when you're doing it and keeping all of the rooms that you have the soap in, like your kitchen, smelling very
I love
beautiful.
that.
And then it just sits there. You put it in the fridge. What do we do with it?
No,
from
you can
there?
just leave it out. Put
Just
a
leave
little
it out.
soap dish
Just leave it
in
out.
your set.
There you go. Okay, let's move on to the floating leaf soap, which is kind of like soap in a soap.
It's soap in soap, and I will show you. I got started earlier on this.
Okay.
If, you can take a look here. So this is what I mean by the soap coming in big bars like this. So like I said, you get them online, you can get them in the craft supply store. You want to cut them into smaller pieces, put them in a microwave-safe bowl. I like using the pourable, the ones that you can pour. It just kind of makes the whole process easier. You want to do it in about 30-second increments. This melts it slowly, and just once it's melted, pour it into the same silicone molds that I had previously, and follow up. So I set that aside to sort of start cooling while I do the coloring. So this is the goat's milk one that I have, and it's the same process.
Okay.
Just put it in the microwave and mix it up 30-second increments until it's done. I have it in 3 separate, because this is, now I'm gonna color it. So you could do a few different colors. You can get, so the coloring for this, you can get, like I said, online or in the craft supply store. And it's specific to soap making or cosmetics. So this is, I'm also putting this in a mold that has the shapes for the leaves and putting it into the fridge. This will expedite the process of it hardening up and bring them back out.
So you want those hardened?
Yes, and
and
then you actually put it into the clear soap that we already poured. And the reason I do this is because you can see that's what we have here. The reason I do it that way, this was process of elimination, because I had the other ones in there and then poured the hot and it melted it.
Right, so that's why you cooled the clear.
So how long would you need the cool to clear?
This will depend on whatever temperature it is. So for instance, I was doing it in our house, so we have great air conditioning here. It was very fast. Whereas I was doing it at my house, and we've had a heat wave here in Los Angeles, so my house was warm. It took almost even like a half hour to get it to be a cool temperature.
Gosh,
so that it wouldn't
it's not going to set that quickly?
No, plus like my microwave I think was a lot stronger than the one we had here, so it got really hot and it was like steaming, whereas the one here did it a lot slower. So you just want to make sure, and then it's soap so you can touch it. So I put my finger in it just to make sure it's almost like a room temperature. And then you slide them in there.
So that's what you're looking for, so that way it won't melt. And look at that.
You have that there.
That is so
and if you have any imperfections here, you can either cut them or rinse it under some water, and that will just
smooth it out. Right, it's soap, of course.
So how did you make the stacked ones?
Oh, the stacked ones are very similar in the process. So I have a stacked one, like I can show you right here, just like that. So it's similar in the process where you pour it like we did with the white ones. You want to let it set, and when you are melting your other ones, you can do different scents or different colors. When you're melting the other one, you want it to cool down as well, and then pour it in. Otherwise, the same thing is going to happen where it's going to melt the soap below it. So you want it to heat, slightly cool, then pour and let it harden. And the great tip of putting it in the fridge will expedite the process so that it's not so much of a step and repeat. You know, you're not waiting.
And with the holidays coming, we're always looking for great gift ideas, right? These would be great. Wouldn't this be a great gift idea? Kind of like package up, make your own homemade soap?
Exactly. And if you want to do that, I recommend if you are putting two together, wrap them up in some wax paper so they don't stick to each other.
Individually wrap them up, and then you can bundle them up, because that would be such a great gift. To be like, look what I made at my house, my homemade soap.
Right?
Look at Fat Ass, but you cannot eat. Did you?
No.
You don't.
But
I thought you were going in for a bite.
Right?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It smells like you could eat it. That's the problem.
It really, I know.
So maybe make sure that your kids don't think it's edible.
It's really, by the way, these really are beautiful, Maria. I really love them.